What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a 4-game edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks in the NBA streets for Tuesday. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me, and this video goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. No time to dilly-dally. I'm a little bummed out because Bam Adebayo didn't attempt a three in the first half. Hopefully he does in the second half because plus 200, it got bet all the way inside of plus 130. That is closing line value, and that is supposed to be the name of the game. Why I record here the evening before, because I'm updating projections before just about anybody else in the industry, and that is going to help you make money in the long run. Obviously, I don't shoot the basketball, though. I don't formulate it. I just simply try to find where there is value in the marketplace, and then also, well, I would like to be right about just about damn near everything because winning money is a lot of fun. Check out Tails. That is where we're really going to do it. Ended up on the first 5 here for the Dodgers. I'm still betting the entire World Series. Had a lock there for the people. Hopefully that comes to fruition here. Walker Buehler versus Clark Schmidt. We got a 2-run homer here from Freddie Freeman in the first, heading to the second. But I'm ready to record. We got 4 games in the NBA streets. If you guys want to check out the Lindy's Tales package for free, this is how you do it. You have Underdog, Vivid, Pick 6, Better, Sleeper. Those are all pick'em sites on the left. On the right, you got FanDuel, BetMGM, DraftKings, Caesars, Bet365. They all have tons of great deals going. And then Rebet at the bottom as well, available in 47 of 50 states here in the United States. Well, you sign up at any one of them. You follow these 4 simple steps on your screen. Choose one of the promos, sign up using the offer, take screenshots of them, and support at oddshopper.com is where you send those. That gets you a free month of Lindy. That's me. For free. All right, y'all, without further ado, lots to get to, lots of back-to-backs here on this one. Producer Jacob, hi, hello. Let's get to the picks. Denver currently in a dogfight with Toronto. Jamal Murray looks broken. He looks damn near broken. If you watch that first quarter, first half, it was somehow worse than it even showed up in the box score. 8-2-1 here watching it. We'll see how this second half goes because, again, I'm recording this one extra early. There's baseball on, there's NFL on, there's NBA to be betting tonight. I want to be on full alert for the people in tails. And, well, this is generally when I'm going to try to get you. Whenever the lines drop, that is when we're going to record. And, well, we got this one. There's 6.5-point favorites going up against Brooklyn. We already got tons of injury news here on the Brooklyn side of things. Bojan Bogdanovic, he's there. He's going to be out still. Trendon Watford is out. Ben Simmons, now out. Day'Ron Sharpe, Day'Ron Sharpe. He is out as well. So lots that's waiting in the wings, but I think our starting 5 ends up being pretty clear-cut. Dennis Schroeder, Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Nicholas Claxton. And Cam Thomas, he's going to have those feast and famine games. But Dennis Schroeder, this is kind of an interesting one to me because right from the get-go, I think there's at least some reason to be, I'm somewhat bullish on an assist ladder here, and here's why. No Ben Simmons out on the floor. The guy is definitely going to cut into that assist rate over the course of this season, and you get him removed. And if you can get early to some of these lines and take some of the alt numbers, I think you've got a good chance against Jamal Murray and company. I'm a little bit worried because of Jamal Murray's injury history that he ends up sitting in this one. And based on what we've seen, that doesn't exactly help, but Russell Westbrook could potentially be your starting point guard against Brooklyn here in this spot. Woof. Denver, what is going on right now? Why do you have no bench? You've traditionally been pretty good at drafting. I mean, Christian Brown was a nice piece on your championship team. Julian Strother is a piece that I really do like. And Peyton Watson, he doesn't suck, but you can only really play teens minutes a game. Not a perfect fit alongside Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and Nikola Jokic. So as it stands right now, it's a bummer, but like Denver's kind of a bummer. So whatever. I'm still leaning towards their side of things because I assume if they go to 0-3, which would be kind of catastrophic against Toronto, you might see, Scotty Barnes is playing out of his mind right now, but you might see Jokic here on this back-to-back. Jamal Murray, a little less short of. I think that's going to keep me off of betting that one, so don't look at that. But the thing I'm the most interested in is where Dennis Schroeder opens for numbers. And game number 2, my Minnesota Timberwolves. This is going to be a really short show here today, taking on Dallas. Yeah, we're going to be running back some really fun times, the Western Conference Finals. Now, Luka at the Target Center. I don't know why it's a thing. It's been a thing, and I'm not a big fan of those, and I'm not a big trends guy. You can probably pick up on both of them. I try to take every game at face value, try to look at what the lineups are going to be, what they could prospectively be, and try to react to injury news a lot. Dallas is on a back-to-back, but because it's Minnesota here on the other side, and Dallas is going to be playing Utah in all of 5 minutes from now, I think we definitely are going to get this one played straight up. Now, Minnesota, they've been very cautious with Mike Conley's minutes. I mean, 20, 27, 26. They said before the season that was something that they were planning on doing. And boy, oh boy, this schedule has actually been decent enough where they can kind of space out some of his days. It'll get wonky like it's been for a couple of teams here, but Dallas, they're the ones on the back-to-back. They're the ones that have some injury concern potentially, where Maxi Kleber, he's out for this one, and that guy was a rotational piece who could guard multiple pieces. One of those pieces is now since departed, that being Karl Anthony Towns, not from life, just simply to the New York Knicks. He's just bigger market, so have fun, Karl. But either way, I'm looking at Donte DiVincenzo props. I know that it's been brutal here of late. First couple of games didn't really find any reason for hope there, but he finally went over his PRA. He finally went over his points prop, finally got on the floor there, and still, it was his fewest minutes of the entire season at 23, so it's probably going to keep me away to some extent. But anyway, the one thing I do like here is Minnesota -4. Dallas, I can't predict exactly what's going to happen over the course of this Utah game, or when you hear this either tonight or tomorrow morning, that being Tuesday morning. But what I can tell you is Minnesota, they've been a little bit wonky to start off the year. New rotations, but Naz Reid, more minutes for him is never a bad thing. And in terms of adjusted defensive rating, we're still second. Don't hit the panic button. It's only 3 games in. We're 2-1. Again, the panic button would be if you get slaughtered in this one and you go to 2-2 and we can't really find minutes for certain guys. But I love our bench 6, 7, 8. Donte DiVincenzo, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Naz Reid. Those are the best 6, 7, 8s that you could possibly ask for in basketball. And as such, against Dallas, yeah, they've got a pretty decent bench. And one guy specifically, Derek Lively II. But Minnesota -4. I think this one moves to 4.5, 5. Small bit of line value, small play for me in this one. Bet365 has tip-off Tuesdays going. Bet $50, get $50 in bonus bets. Here's how it works. You go to Bet365, you sign up at the link below if you haven't already in any of the qualifying states, including Pennsylvania, but you qualify with 3 selections. 3 selections. It has to be even money or longer in order for it to qualify. But when you bet 50, you're going to get yourself $50 in bonus bets so long as it meets those qualifications. Let it be known, I hate these -450, -750, -3,000 points prop boosters that people are throwing into their single game parlays. Books love when they see that. Hey, it won't get you limited by any means, but definitely find yourself 3 advantageous props. Odd Shopper, if you have questions about it, hit me up at X at Eric Lindquist. I can let you know my 3 favorites at Bet365 or my favorite single game parlay at Bet365. And, well, if you sign up down below at any one of those states, bet 50, get 50 in bonus bets. That is only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Sorry, I was going to say North Carolina, come on and raise up, take your shirt off, twist around your head, spin it like a helicopter. Those are the states. Back to the picks we go. We're having fun here on a Monday night, recording here for Tuesday's games. You know who's not probably going to have fun? Utah taking on Dallas, but now they're going to be hosting. No, so they're flying back home to altitude or semi altitude. Well, it's definitely altitude up against Sacramento here. In Sacramento, they're going to be on a back-to-back themselves. This is just such a wonky situation for these schedulers to just be thrown out there right away in the season. We've had tons of 3 of 4. And again, I can't predict exactly how these rotations are going to break down, but Sacramento gets to take on Portland. Should be a pretty light workload for them there. Also the same thing. I mean, obviously I'm hoping not because I have a Portland plus 12.5 ticket, but that's beside the point. We are looking ahead to this one. I'm not a huge fan of Utah's construction of a basketball team. That shouldn't go by anybody, but Walker Kessler has been serviceable in a couple of these outings. It's still early in the season. John Collins, like him a lot better coming off the bench. He's not a winning basketball player at this stage of his career, actually pretty much at any stage of his career. The pieces around Atlanta, in hindsight, looks a little bit different, doesn't it? Yeah. Kevin Huerter, he was somebody who mattered on that Trae Young Atlanta Hawks Eastern Conference team that made a run once upon a time, but those are a long times ago. But Utah hosting them here on the back-to-back. Sacramento going to be traveling as well. It is so hard to figure out anything that I want to do with this game from a spread perspective, but from a pace perspective and from a defensive perspective, I know Utah is going to be bottom, potentially the worst defense in all of basketball, if we're being honest. Offensively, I expect them to get a little bit better, but so far, 22nd in adjusted offensive rating in my model, despite playing the 5th highest pace. So it's all about that pace, no treble, but you got to be paying close attention to other pace metrics that can potentially tip us off here in this spot. And that leads me to this. Sacramento. I think they're going to be playing slower going forward with DeMar DeRozan as a piece of this rotation than even the Harrison Barnes parts, because DeMar DeRozan in the half court wants to have the ball in his hands. And it's such a weird acquisition for them, for De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis to have to share the floor with them. Very curious to see where they come out in pace by year's end. But right now they are 6th. And I do not expect, I repeat, I do not expect that to maintain. I know Brown wants to get out and run. I know Sabonis wants to kind of create those 3-point looks for shooters on the outside. Other Murray. The main Murray, Keegan Murray. But anyway, Sacramento, they're going to try to create those looks. They've had a pretty difficult strength of schedule so far, but this is definitely a spot where I could see lower scoring output for both teams here. So both teams trying to find their footing. Sacramento should be able to find their footing against Portland. I'm still hoping Portland covers, but under 235.5. My favorite play from this one, again, another small play, small slate. Don't go crazy. I know the Lindy's pick isn't going to show up and have like anything that's just noticeable in terms of like, oh, it doesn't have a like attached to it. It doesn't have a lock attached to it. In fact, second straight day, no locks, because there's nothing with like a 4 or 5% expected value on my sheet right now, but there are no props available because Golden State also going to be on a back-to-back taking on New Orleans. And I almost fired on the New Orleans side of things. So I want to throw that out right from the get-go before I get into this. But the more I started breaking this down, this is going to be a team without Steph Curry. That is a huge deal on the Golden State side. And then their depth goes a little bit dwindled with Andrew Wiggins not expected to play in this basketball game either. Now, the New Orleans side, they are going to be without DeJounte Murray and Trey Murphy still. DeJounte Murray, the broken hand. Trey Murphy, he still has that right hamstring strain that he is working himself back from. He got paid, so when we see him, we're going to see him play a lot. But I know that it is a weird construction when you have Brandon Podziemski, potentially Buddy Hield, Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond Green, and Trayce Jackson-Davis being your starting 5, but Kuminga can be a number 1. We saw this last season. When you had Klay Thompson off the floor, you saw nearly a 25% usage for Jonathan Kuminga. When you had Steph Curry off the floor as well, nearly a 28% usage rate that you had for Jonathan Kuminga. I think even with Buddy Hield out there running around, doing his wind sprint stuff, and then chucking up 10 threes, I still think Jonathan Kuminga is the go-to scorer in this starting 5 and not remotely close. Podziemski, he'll be out there creating. Buddy Hield, again, he'll be running around and doing the cardio thing. Draymond Green, come on now. And Trayce Jackson-Davis, let's not joke ourselves right now. Jonathan Kuminga amongst the starting 5, big boost. But there's a guy off the bench too that I want to be paying close attention to, because if he gets his minutes ratcheted up, his usage has been out of control through the first couple of games. His name, Moses Moody. His job, score the frickin' basketball. Look at this, 11 and 10 shot attempts in the first 2 games of the season in just 15 and 19 minutes. Now, he had a competitive game. Again, those were both blowouts, but blowouts where he saw a lot of the usage run. Well, without Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins, Moses Moody could be stepping into this role. Now, this is an assumption of mine, but I don't have these numbers yet, but I know on DraftKings, on FanDuel, at Bet365, where you can do those single game parlays and take advantage of the Bet 50, get 50. These are 2 guys that you need to be circling, highlighting, starring once these numbers drop, because once they drop, I'm going to analyze them, and I think they could be very interesting for points ladders. That is Jonathan Kuminga in the starting unit. And yes, you heard me, Moses Moody. I expect to be somebody that they want to get scoring output, because without Steph, that is a massive amount of usage and scoring gone. Kaput, gone. Gary Payton II isn't adding scoring off the bench, that's for sure. Kyle Anderson, that's not his job either, slow-mo. Kevon Looney, what are we even doing here? We have to see more minutes for Moses Moody, and as such, oh boy, get ready to fire if the numbers come out right. Hit me up on X, at Eric Lindquist, or be in Tails. I will let you know. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on this very limited 4-game slate. But Wednesday will get weird again. We got tons coming our way in the NBA streets. I'm betting MLB down at Tails as well. I repeat, if you guys want to get that package for free, you sign up at one of those 11 sites, one of our partner sites. Right here it is. You get yourself on the pick'em side or on the sportsbook side on the right, or at Rebet, which is available to just about everybody in every single state. You sign up there, you follow these 4 simple steps, and you will get yourself free exposure, $50 value to Lindy's Discord. That is my Discord. And hey, you'll get all my plays sent directly to your phone. If you have the Odd Shepherd companion app, you are set to go. Alrighty, y'all. Until next time, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Tuesday.